Hi, everybody. Welcome to season 4, episode 1 of the B.A.D Collection podcast. My guest today is my buddy Roman. So, Roman, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers?
Hello. Thanks for having me on.
Of
Um,
course.
my name is Roman Jossart. I'm the owner and founder of Studio 605, a independent film production company that specializes in horror, but has worked on a lot of different things. Since 2013, when we were founded, we've done 26 different feature film, worked on 26 different feature films now.
Nice. Yeah. So, Roman and I met on a little movie called Macabre Mountain, which will be coming out later this fall. It was a really great set. I don't think I've honestly ever left a set where I can call everybody family. So I feel like in those, 13 days, give or take.
Yeah, it was
uh,
13 to 15, something right in there.
something like that. Yeah. We just really grew close and we worked very well together, I think. And yeah, so we're
That
just
was a
gonna
good time.
continue working together, you know? But yeah, so just keep an eye out for Macabre Mountain. Do you want to tell anybody little tidbits about Macabre? Because you were first AC and I was second AD.
um it's a good movie, and I've seen probably more than you have. Um
Probably because you're more on the editor side than I
yeah,
am.
yeah. So
Damn it.
it's looking great. It's fun. Can't really give too much away about it though.
Unfortunately, y'all are just gonna have to wait and be patient.
Oh,
You good? We don't need you to
yeah,
die on camera.
got water.
Not literally die, please. This is not an acting bit. Okay.
No, we got a movie to make this.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about, Studio 605 and some of the films you worked on. So, first of all, what made you get into the industry and work on this side of the industry?
I mean, I've just always had a love of cinema. I mean, just growing up in general, like everybody else. Um, and I liked creating, but not so much in the sense of like films and narratives and things like that. I just liked doing stupid stuff with my buddies and things like that, filming it and put it on YouTube and things like that. And then eventually, yeah, it grew when I was 21. We did our first feature film, which was my film called The Campground, and never done like a short film before that. So the feature was like the first thing I had ever done. Um, and it was a hell of an introduction to filmmaking. And through that process, I ended up really liking it. And I was like, damn, I want to keep doing this. So kept working on little things, and little things led to more things. And I ended up, by the age of 24, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So I've been doing it ever since.
Nice. Yeah, see, growing up, I knew I wanted to be in the industry myself at a very young age. I just obviously, I was like 5, so I didn't completely understand all of that yet, because I mean, what 5-year-old would? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they probably would have an idea, but to really think about it, it's like, I don't know if you know what exactly you want to do when you're 5 years old, but
Yep.
yeah, I feel like I just knew from a very young age myself. And then once I got into high school and I had a sports injury and everything, I really kicked more into gear after that than I ever have. And I just fell in love with it. So I
Yeah, when I was
definitely get where
younger,
you're at.
I definitely feel like I it's not so much was the film. Growing up, I loved to entertain.
That's,
Uh,
yep, me
you know,
too.
when I was younger, I was a musician. I had a band. And I loved playing for people. I liked playing my guitar just around a campfire for people. You
Mhm.
know, whether it was in high school when I was in choir, like I just like to entertain. And I think that's what eventually evolved into, oh, well, I could tell stories, which is just
Mhm.
as entertaining.
Absolutely, man. And so, can you tell us some of the other films that you've worked on? Off the top of my head, I'm annoyed with my brain because I can't recall the one movie. So Roman and I both attended Days of the Dead Atlanta in January, and he had a vendor table. What was the damn movie that I got from your vendor table? Because I'm blanking.
Well, it could have been either They See You,
It wasn't that one.
or Wicked Ones.
Wicked Ones.
Yeah, okay.
That one is baller. So let's talk about a couple of those real quick if you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
mind.
Wicked Ones are so there's the Wicked One, and then there's Wicked Ones, which is the sequel to that film. So the Wicked One we did back in 2016. Now the Wicked One was the first film that I was hired to not only be a DP, I had never ran camera before. So I was hired to be DP on that, but 605 was hired to produce that film. So that was the first film that another filmmaker trusted us to, make their vision for them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
since then, I think 605 has now produced on like 15 different filmmakers' films, just helping them, make the film a reality. Uh,
Nice.
but the Wicked One was the first time that another filmmaker, trusted me in the beginning to come on board. So I was the DP on that and I was the editor on that. And it was super fun. It was as stressful as a movie can be at
Mm-hmm.
times, but it was a great experience. Editing in it was awesome. It was the first film I had edited for a different director, not for myself. So that taught me how that process kind of works between, what I'm doing and then relaying to a director and then, going back and forth. And it was the first film that we did that got distribution. Um,
Nice.
so that film got released, nationally and internationally,
Oh,
uh,
wow.
physical and digital. So that was like our first like oh, that was like our first like movie that got released. Um, and like I said, we started in 2013, so it took 3 years just to get to that point. And that was in 2016. Then in 2019, we did Wicked Ones, which is the one that you got,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is the follow-up sequel to that. Um, which again, we shot in 2019, and because of how things work with distribution and everything, it didn't come out till last fall.
Oh, wow.
So we filmed it in
Yeah.
2019, edited it, had it all shot, had it all ready. But then with the way that distribution works, it did not come out until the fall of 2022.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So
I got the fresh copy.
yeah, so like, it recently has come out, but we made that like 3 years ago.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that myself. I mean, I'm in a very loose pre-production for my own film and yeah, that's good information to know so I'm
Yeah.
not like,
And that's why,
why is he
when we
taking
do,
forever?
like right now we're doing a crowdfunder for a film that we're doing this May. And
Hmm.
one of the things that we always push on there is, buying the pre-orders of the Blu-rays and things, because when you do it through something like that, you get the film when I'm done editing it,
Hmm.
when it's ready for a premiere. Without things like the campaign, you have to wait until distribution releases it. So you
Hmm.
can get it in a year from now, or you can watch it in 3 years from now, just
Right.
because of the way that beast works. And sometimes, I've had some films that are really easy with distribution, and I've had other films where they give you 1,000 different notes and they change their mind 5 different times on adding a scene, removing a scene, changing a scene. You know what? Leave the scene alone after you've already changed the scene.
Right.
It's its own process that is very time consuming and kind of confusing because you're like, the movie's done. What are we doing?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, and I remember if you're okay with telling this story, the biggest thing I remember when you talked about Wicked Ones, there was it's funny thinking about it because I remember how you described it and then watching how the camera moved. I think it was Wicked Ones. You said you were filming like in a tunnel and the way you were like running backwards, but you were
Yes,
going like
yes.
boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is funny as hell. So if you do you want to tell that
Yeah,
story?
yeah. Like it was actually a really cool set. Um, so like the director had found this abandoned school And inside the gymnasium, we had built these tunnels to film inside of that. In the movie, the tunnels are underground. So we built these tunnels on a stage, essentially, in this school. Um, but this was an abandoned school. Um, and it had no it had power. We were able to, plug in lights and things like that. However, it did not have AC. It did not have fans.
Ugh.
It had just, windows busted out all over the place. It was in like August when we were doing this. Very, very hot and humid.
Oh,
Um, and inside the school already, it was just like felt like shit. We had fans plugged in and all over the place. Didn't help at all. It was like a factory. No matter how many fans were in there, it did not help at all.
oh no.
But when you were in the tunnels, it was like 50 degrees even hotter because the tunnels were completely wrapped in like a black plastic on the outside so that no light and things would get through there.
Yeah.
But that completely like insulated it even further. And it was an oven inside of that thing. And there were some days where we'd be, shooting in those tunnels for like 8 hours. And it got so bad that, and it was so tight. So if you watch the movie, like it feels claustrophobic. And it really was. Like it was not much bigger than for me to get around a corner with, a shoulder rig.
Hmm.
So it'd get so hot in there that it'd get down to minimum crew, which would be, me on the camera. Because in Wicked Ones, I was the DP again as well as the editor again, and the sound guy. Everybody else was out basically on a monitor.
Hmm.
Because plus for some of these shots, like you were saying, I had to run backwards
Hmm.
um to get these shots. And it was just so damn hot that me and the sound guy would just be in our boxers and we just be running around these tunnels for 2 or 3 hours, getting all these crazy shots with a walkie-talkie on my like side of my. So I had an easy rig on, and so
Uh-huh.
on the side of that I'd had like a walkie-talkie, um, and the director would just talk back and forth to me with the shots, and we would just go in there for like 3 hours, and we'd come out just. It was like a sauna. We would just come out dripping sweat. It was grueling conditions for those scenes. But they looked awesome, and
Hmm.
the film got distribution again. So in the end, it paid off. But on set, we were all hating life. We just wanted to go back to our hotel room. We just wanted to be anywhere but there.
Well, and see, um, you know, I listen to Scout Taylor Compton and Danielle Harris's podcast Talk Scary to Me. And I know like with other actors or actresses and even themselves, like they talk a lot about, how, horror's pretty low budget most of the time,
Yeah.
unless it's Blumhouse. Um, so,
If you're doing like Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street, it's pretty low budget.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that even those movies, of course, started on low budget, but there's so much, not that in other genres it doesn't, but with horror, so much goes into these movies. Like we're like really digging in like the friggin' dirt, honestly,
Yeah.
doing the best we can to make a baller horror film because everyone loves horror and we always want to produce the best kind of films when we're making a movie from that genre. And like I said before, every other genre, yes, it has they're digging in the dirt too. But with horror, man, like we're sweating our
Yeah,
asses off.
but in a lot of genres, like with horror especially, so like horror almost has an entire part of a budget that's not
Mm-hmm.
on a lot of other genre films, and that's special
Right.
effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
Mm-hmm.
most you might have on like, a rom-com is like, the guy gets cut on his forehead,
Yeah,
you know,
because he tripped or some
because
shit.
he clipped it on the sidewalk. Like that's the most like special effects you get. Like there are no like now sometimes there are like certain props and things like that that are built for movies that are special effects, but
Mm-hmm.
like when it comes to like killing somebody for a movie, that's and if it's say like a slasher film, so like you have a
Yeah.
body count. If you have a body count, you have to have so much extra budget
Mm-hmm.
just to accommodate for all these kills to make them look so good. Because not only like the other movies are you paying the actors and paying the crew and paying the location and paying the catering, but now you're adding this whole like now I got to kill them and make it look real.
Mm-hmm.
But a rom com is like they just got to kiss and fall in love.
Right. Right.
Like
Well,
there's
and
a
it's
whole part
true.
of the budget that just on other films does not exist for the most part.
Exactly. It's just like, we're really getting in. I'm trying to like land the airplane and get to my point. But it's like, with horror, like we're really getting in the nitty-gritty of things. And I mean, I feel like, at least from my experience and also from hearing other horror actors, we're on set for a long ass time, 12, 14, maybe even more hours. Because also on
12
top
on a
of
good
that,
day.
12 on a good day, exactly. Eight on a better, eight
Yeah.
on a better. But
Yeah, if
but
it's less than 8, you miss something.
yeah, exactly. Just saying, just saying. But it takes time to get all that makeup on or getting the props right. If something doesn't work right with a blood splatter, like it's do over, do over, do over, because you want to, especially when a director has a vision and there's a specific way, because you want to
Yeah.
do it right. You want to make it look real and scary and gruesome majority of the time.
Yep.
So it can be a pain in the butt, but when you love it, it's like, let's do it and let's do it right kind of thing too. But it's the long hours and the like I said, digging in the dirt. Like we're throwing ourselves against walls, on the ground. We're sprinting backwards like you did on
At
Wicked
the end
Ones.
of
Like
the
we're
day, we're
going
crawling to
crazy.
our showers to just try to, relax.
Exactly. We're like, I want a hot shower to rest my muscles.
So that
I'm dying.
I can get this big 2 hours of sleep before doing it again.
Literally, literally. If you're lucky, if you're lucky, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I love, and that's, I don't know, I just love working in horror. I really do, and that's why I want to keep working in it. And I grew up on it, so it's like a
You
given
have the
for
most,
me.
it's so weird that I feel like you have the most fun on a horror set.
Agreed.
Like if people are dying and you're filming crazy shit, you have the best time doing it because like this is crazy shit.
Yeah. And
And
like
like you're like if it looks this crazy here, I can't like the edit is gonna be nuts.
exactly. It's really cool to watch and see, man. And that's why I'm really excited about Macabre.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever want to give me some inside scoop, let me know.
Yeah. It looks good.
But yeah, no, seriously, I can't wait for the premiere and to see everybody again. And I was gonna say something else, but I'm not gonna say it, because if I say it and I'm not supposed to say it, I'm gonna get in trouble, and I don't want to get in
You
trouble. So
better
I'm
not
gonna
say it
zip
then.
my lips. I'm gonna
Yeah.
zip my lips. But yeah, let's move forward a little bit and jump into, Placid Park. Because
Yeah.
you loosely brought that up when we were talking about funding and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Placid Park is my next film that I'll be directing and that I co-wrote. Um, we've been in pre-production technically for 5 years now. I came up with it back in 2019. So I've been working on the script, building my crew, assembling my cast, finding locations, just, slowly building to the moment
Mm-hmm.
to until it felt right.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, last October, it finally kind of felt like I think it's time to do it. So now we're gonna do it. And yeah, so Placid Park is I've been telling people it's a psychedelic cosmic creature feature horror film. It is a trippy monster movie. The easy plot, without giving a lot of things away, is seven friends go out to a state park, Placid Park, um, and they're gonna go hiking, check out some waterfalls, some caves, go camping together and just have a good time out in the woods. They're going to have some acid and some shrooms and just have a good time and hang out. And while coming up on their drugs, unfortunately, a Wendigo comes into camp, kills one of them, and the other six now have to survive the entire night and this monster while coming up on these drugs, not knowing what's real, what's not being able to trust their senses, not knowing where they are. Um, and that's kind of like where the movie really kind of catapults itself.
Am I sensing some comedy in this a little bit as well?
Oh, there's some definite like comic relief. Yeah, yeah.
I hope so.
You
Because
gotta have that.
honestly,
Yeah.
here's my question for, some cool people out there that like to get a little bit smoky and stuff. Thinking about it, because obviously you haven't started filming yet or even close to editing and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend someone watching this while under the
We
influence?
are definitely keeping them in mind. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I want this to be a not only like a good movie, but I want it to have that rewatch value with your friends where you're like, hey, let's do this and turn this on. It's fucking wild.
I
Because
feel like
we
it would be
are going
10
to
times
have,
more wild if you were high.
yeah, we definitely are not catering so much to, the type of shroom audience, but there are going to be a lot of like visual things in there that are going to be really, really cool to look at if you just so happen to be on mushrooms.
Mushrooms or
Yeah, like we
a
have a lot of
good
visuals that are going to be happening with this film. I've brought on a visual effects team
Mhm.
to help with it because, like you were saying, like for a director's vision, I have a very strong vision for what Placid Park is supposed to look like, from how it's shot to the color to the pacing to the music. Like I said, I've been working on this film for 5 years. So for 5 years, it's been in my head. I've seen
Right.
the movie 100 times. Um, and so it's just about, getting it out and doing it right and having the right people to be able to do that. You can't
Right.
do it by yourself. So you got to surround yourself with the best.
Absolutely, man. I agree 100%. And that's why I brought up earlier, like leaving Macabre Mountain, like I feel like I've finally found a good group of people that I can see myself working with for the rest of my life, because
Absolutely. That was
everyone worked their ass off and it was just amazing to see. Like we had so much fun, but we also did our jobs. And I
yeah.
think we all did pretty friggin' great with the
I
cards
mean,
we
we got like
dealt.
we got like a whole movie shot in like you said, like 13 days. Like
Mhm.
that's crazy.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was a small script. I mean, and we had a lot of location
No.
changes.
Oh my God. Sometimes we'd
And
have 3 or 4 in a day,
right,
which
right.
don't do if you're an aspiring filmmaker. I'm gonna tell you right now. That is like you see the call sheet and you're like, what the hell are we doing?
If there's a location you can definitely get done in a day and get it out of the way, focus on it that day
You
or
have 4
two.
locations, it's because you better have a sound stage that has 4 different rooms. Like you better not be packing gear, unloading gear, packing gear, unloading gear, packing gear, unloading gear, and packing gear and unloading gear. Don't do that.
It's rough. Okay. It's
End of
rough.
story.
End of story. No need to further explain. It's just rough. But so by the time that this episode airs, which will be on April 1st, can you tell everybody how much longer the campaign will be running and maybe some of the perks?
Absolutely. So on the first, I believe the campaign ends on the third.
Okay.
Um, if not, the fourth is like the latest. Um, but yeah, so on the first, we'll have a couple days left that people can definitely get on board. Besides the Blu-ray and digital download, obviously we have copies of the film. But we got some pretty dope perks. One of my favorites is kind of like you were saying, to our mushroom audience, we have a coloring book for the film, which I'm so excited to see. So we're going to be taking stills from the movie, and then we have an illustrator that's going to be taking those and then illustrating them into a color book form, which then will be printing those, basically kind of like a magazine style coloring book, and shipping those out. So it'll be actual stills from the movie of the actual actors. So like Felissa Rose is in a coloring book that you can get high in color later on.
Get high and color.
And not only like does it kind of play into that audience, which is great, but this is a film about color.
Yeah.
Color, as you can tell from my background, color is a very important thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it'd be really cool for people to see the movie and see my vision for it, but then interpret their own color, draw it how you would imagine it. Like, I love that idea. But yeah, you can just get high and color Placid Park in your own vision, which is really, really cool.
That's really dope, dude.
And it's definitely an adult coloring book. There will be, pictures in there of people smoking joints and whatnot.
Imagine some of the people that buy it though, and they're
It
like,
says right on the front
"Hey
cover,
kids,
adult.
here you go. Enjoy coloring." No, don't
Yeah,
do
it
it.
says right on the front cover, adults only.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked if there were still adults that ended up handing it to their
Yep.
child.
So yeah, we have the
To each
coloring
their
book,
own.
which is super cool. We've got one screen used prop weapon left from the film. We've only had two of those, and one of them already sold. I don't know if it's still available by the first.
Fair enough.
We have one of my favorites is the character wears your brand. So like our characters are wearing like backpacks and jackets and beanies and things like that, and all over it, I'm gonna have pins and buttons. So you can pay $25 to have your brand, your company, your band, whatever your logo is. For $25, you can have it in the movie and have it on a character, and they'll be wearing it throughout the entire film. Which is a really cool perk that I like because
Yeah.
for $25 you get to put your brand in a movie throughout the movie. It's not just like a moving shot, it's on the actors. So like if the camera's on the actor, your logo is right there on camera.
Dope.
Yeah, so that's
Dope.
a really cool one that I'm excited about. We've got the slate that we'll be using on set, we'll be selling off. Producer credits, acting in the film, we've got some extra roles. All kinds of, fun things like that. And then the bundle pack is probably the big cool one. So the bundle pack comes with the Blu-ray, a signed poster by the cast, 11 by 17, a mushroom keychain, a collector's cup, a custom lighter, and a special thanks on the IMDb and end credits of the film. So you get all that in one bundle. But the mushroom keychain, the cup, and the lighter, you can only get on the bundle. We don't sell those separately anywhere else.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think those perks are pretty dope. And you have a lot of like merch going on with the film, which I think is really cool to see too. I mean, like little things like
Felissa
keychains,
Rose got a
lighters.
shout out video from Felissa that she'll be filming on set. So it'll be a personalized video for you from the set of Placid Park. That Felissa Rose will be filming for people, all kinds of cool stuff.
That's something that y'all really definitely want to get. We love Felissa. She is an angel and one of our greatest friends. I love that woman to death. I love that she's on this project, so I can't wait to see all of that, honestly. It's so exciting.
She's got a very fun role. She's got a very wild character.
Very wild one.
She's a
Oh, now
wild
I definitely can't wait to see it.
little
Because
southern,
this is so
little
great
wild
to watch.
southern belle.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. She's just so and I mean, like watching films she's been in and like, seeing her actually act on set, I'm like, damn, I love watching her. Like she's so funny, but she's
her
so
role in
awesome.
Victor Crowley,
like,
I love watching her in Victor Crowley probably more than anything. She cracks me up every time I watch that movie. When she's just popping pills and shit, I'm just like, Jesus.
well, and this isn't going to give anything away. So there was a scene she was doing, and it's when she was running. I can't even honestly even remember what she was
Was
running
it?
from.
Is it the one where she's running out of the building with the metal ramp?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Um, and she's like, the way she's running, I was like, I'm standing behind the monitor
Uh,
watching with you as you're keeping focus, and I'm trying so hard not to piss my pants because it's just the way she did it. And it was just so good though.
sometimes that's
I
one of the
love
worst.
her.
Sometimes that's one of the worst parts about pulling focus is when there's like an amazing like not so much blooper, but like if somebody's like doing something that is just like downright hysterical, I'm not allowed to laugh and I have to hold it in
Right?
sometimes while I'm trying to like keep my hand steady to
Mhm.
keep them focused. But I'm back here like yeah, and that's definitely one of
Really
those
be.
moments where you're just like you're not expecting her to do what she does. And
Uh-huh.
you're just like, Jesus Christ,
Christ.
perfect.
She's just so good at what she does, honestly, and it just makes it. She has some comedic relief to it, even though she's scared, like her character's scared and
Absolutely.
running away. There's just this little comedic tweak to it where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't not laugh, but obviously I have to be quiet because if I disturb the sound, my
You know
ass
what it
is
is? Is
grass.
you always want her to live to keep you laughing.
Right, right. I
Yeah.
agree. I
You're like,
agree.
oh
Oh my
no, don't
God.
get rid of her. Come on.
The last thing I did want to talk to you about though, is your band.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
I don't get asked enough questions about that.
absolutely, man. And it's so Roman's band, Slasher Boy, right?
There you go. Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. So I actually got to hear his album while we were filming before it came out. So I'm incredibly special.
Yep.
Um,
Test
but
audience.
it's a damn bop, dude. They're
Thank you.
cool and
We
it's
actually go to the studio on Monday and record 3 more songs.
is album number 2 gonna be coming?
Yeah, probably in about 2 months.
Oh shit.
We got the
Y'all
next
need to go
10
listen to
we got the
album 1
next
then.
10 ready. But so we've been kind of fortunate since we formed our band. We've been writing songs for films a lot. Um, so Maniac Cheerleaders, which is on our first album, that is a movie coming out, being made later this year called Maniac Cheerleaders. And that's like the theme song for that. But on Monday, we actually go to the studio and we're recording 3 songs for 2 different films. In the Wicked Ones movie, the song that I sing and perform, we wrote that just for Wicked Ones.
Nice.
We also did another there's a kill where there's like a janitor cleaning the floor and a girl gets her neck slit behind him. The song he's listening to was another song we recorded just for the movie. So
Nice.
like we've been fortunate to get hired by like indie filmmakers and they're like, hey, you write awesome horror punk music. Will you write a
Yeah.
song for our movie? So on Monday we actually go to record one for what's it movie called? Dream Dream Scream Dream? Scream Dream? Dream Screams? Something like that. But so we go to the studio to record, 2 or 3 more songs for movies. One for Placid Park called Psychedelic Motorhome that I'm very excited about.
Psychedelic motor.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, that's actually a pretty dope song name for no reason. I love it, man. Oh, that's amazing. That's really good to hear though, because like I said, I really enjoyed the album. I was like, okay, I can vibe with this. I feel like I should low-key be headbanging to it.
Yeah. it's
It's a
it's
vibe.
very up tempo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're very in your face, just let's rock out. Um, we're here for a good time, not a long time, so let's party. That's kind of the vibe of Slasher Boy. Because every song just like punches and it just goes until the song ends.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm glad you like Slasher Boy. It means a
Oh, I
lot.
did. I did.
Because like I love
It's
making
really a
movies and
jam.
stuff, but like I love making movies, but like my first passion was music. You know, when I was a freshman in high school, I started a band. Our
Nice.
band was called Dropout Graduates. We were like an old, you know, we were kind of like a Green Day, Blink 182 pop punk band. And
Nice.
I had that until I was 20. The band broke up when I was 20. And that's when I was like, music was all I cared about. That was my passion. I was going to be a famous musician. That was the goal. And then the band broke up and I had no idea what to do. And then that's when the following year I went and made my first movie. And I was like, well, this is a perfect, you know, not backup plan, but like, let's see what this is. But music was always first. So like for me to have Slasher Boy again, because we just started Slasher Boy like last summer. Like it's a very
Wow.
like, we're not even a year old yet. Within 3 months of being a band, we had our first album.
Dope.
So that's why like it's so fun for me to be able to like be making music again for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you guys really haven't been together that long to like already have your first album out and everything. That's
And
really cool.
and we're working on our second right now.
Album number 2 is coming, y'all.
Yeah.
So go listen to the first one. Obviously, I will never be in your band because I can't sing.
Well, we'll get you in there. They got technology to fix that nowadays.
That okay, that's fair. That's fair. So it's not completely horrible. There's still a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
You're saying there's a chance. Oh my God. Oh, well, Roman, thank you so much for doing this. I'm really glad you got to come on and,
Yeah.
tell the viewers about yourself.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity. This was fun. This was a good time.
Absolutely, man. You're welcome to come on again if you ever want to. So,
Absolutely. We'll talk after the movie's made. How about that?
yes. Yes, sounds good, man. Good
All
luck with
right.
everything. I can't wait to see Placid Park. Everybody go check out the campaign. And Roman, before you go, do you want to tell everybody where to find your socials and as
Yeah.
well as the campaign on
Yeah,
Indiegogo?
pretty easy. Studio 605. Pretty much on everything, you know, on Instagram, on YouTube, Facebook. On Facebook, it's Studio 605 LLC. I think there's also a hair salon that goes by Studio 605, but we're LLC. If they got horror, slashers, and blood, it's probably our company. That's the logo. So, but yeah, and then check out our campaign on Indiegogo that's live right now until the third or fourth.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Roman. I will talk to you soon. Thank you
Thanks
guys
for
for
having me.
joining us and
Thanks for
have a
hanging
good
out, guys.
day.
See ya.
See ya.